Hey everybody, it's me, Sarge. Welcome to another video. It's kind of a special video. I have just recently hit 100 subscribers, and I'm actually shocked that there's 100 of you that want to follow me, but even after I reached 100 subscribers and I decided to do a special video, my viewership went up to 160 some. So I really want to say thank you to all of you that are following along. A lot of you that have said that you hope I continue making my videos, and to answer a question, I was asked if I am going to continue making videos once I start hike. I absolutely do. Plan on continuing to make videos. I'm not going to hold myself to any strict schedule, like every day or every other day. It's going to be mostly just around to where I have the time to condense. I might do, 1 to 2, 3 day video, a video of 1 to 2, 3 days at a time in each video, or one might be a 1 day video or whatnot. Just depends. I'm not going to hold my feet to the fire and try to keep myself to a schedule, because then it would be more like work and it wouldn't be like enjoying the trail, and I want to do that. But I did want to just make a special video just to say thank you to all of you guys that have been following me and are planning on following me, and just a way to say thank you. And one thing I do want to do with my videos, and this is why I'm doing this specific video, is making videos to help people prep and plan for their AT. So I do want to make videos that are educational, informative, for anybody who wants to hike the Appalachian Trail. So that way it might assist you in some way of making, the decision, the choice, and to get out there and go on the hike. So today I figured I'd do a video on what I have spent getting ready for the AT. All my prep, all my gear, equipment, clothing, anything that I paid or I bought for the trail. What did that add up to prior to starting the trail? When I get done the trail, I am a numbers person. I like to keep stats and numbers and whatnot, so I'm going to be keeping track of everything that I spend while I'm on the trail, so I will be able to look back at the end of it and say, yeah, I was averaging this much per month or this much per week and whatnot. So I'll have that at the end of the hike, so it makes sense to do something before the hike to see what I've spent, and maybe that could kind of give people a ballpark. Now, what I have included into this list, I am going to break it down into categories, so you can get an idea for that. What I didn't include into this list was the value of something that I've already had. If it was something I already had in my possession prior to even thinking of hiking, I didn't include that value. For example, my hat. I've already had this, so I'm not going to include that in the value of my clothing. So that, that goes with some of my electronic stuff that I've already had, and whatnot. So I'm going to break it down, and then we're going to have a grand total. I'm going to have it up here on the side of the screen as we go through, and I went through the lowest value items to the highest value category-wise. So the first thing is electronics. That includes everything from power packs to my headlamp. All electronics came to $77.46. So, I didn't include my phone in that, because even though I bought a phone for the trail, let me rephrase that. Even though I bought a phone right before I started prepping for the trail, I didn't buy the phone for the trail, so I did not include that. But buying all the accessories I needed and my headlamp, all those things came to $77.46. Now, I did move out of my house, so an expense I had was putting all my house into storage, and that was $96.67 for the first month, and that's to be a continual cost that I'll have throughout the rest of the year while I'm on trail each month. Now we have sundry items. That's the next category. Sundry items are anything that a lot of your things like Luca tape, expendable items, things like that, and random stuff that really doesn't fit into any other category of equipment or gear or clothing. So sundry items, all, perishable goods, Band-Aids, Leukotape, anything of that matter. It came to $113.32. The next category would be my food and hydration. This includes my stove, eating utensil, pot, my water bladder, the first purchase of all the water bottles I'm going to use, and also my Sawyer. So anything that has to do with food and hydration, that came to $178.70. So the next category is sleep. Now, this includes my sleeping bag, sleep mat, both my sleeping mats, air pillows, and whatnot. So all sleep items came to $240.97. Now my tent. When it comes to tent, this includes the extra tent stakes that I bought, the footprint that I had to pay for it, and whatnot. That came to $297.97. $297.97. And that was for a Gossamer Gear, the 1 tent. Travel and lodging. Now, travel and lodging, this includes my train ticket to get down to Georgia, where I'm at now, at my folks' house, from Pennsylvania, as well as buying a room at the lodge at Amicaloa Park, buying a room there for us, because we're going to get there afternoon of one day, and I'm going to be starting the next day. So we got a lodge there. That came to $473.13. And the next highest thing on the list is my pack and my storage. Now, when I say storage, I mean not just my backpack, but also my waist belt, the wet weather bags or waterproof dry bags I use in my pack. And that total came to $584.20. Now my next more expensive category is miscellaneous kit. That could be anything that really didn't fit any of these other categories, like my trekking poles, and all types of gear like that. My trowel for my privy usage, things like that. All those things that didn't have any other category that were pieces of kit came to $899.29. And now the last and final and most expensive category, which blew all the other ones out of the water, came to clothing. Clothing, obviously everything that I'm taking, but also included in the clothing was the multiple pairs of shoes that I bought. My shoes that I'm using are not really isn't accessible to purchase on the trail. They're not carried by most people. They're not in any store in town. They're not in most outfitter shops. Nobody really carries them. So I did have to purchase a few pairs of those and have them sitting with people in resupply boxes so I can have them shipped to me. Total for all of my clothing and my shoes came to $1,228.82. So that by far was the most expensive thing, mostly because of the shoes I bought. I have 2 pairs sitting up in Pennsylvania, and then I have a pair down here in Georgia that will be sent to me at some point. So that was the most expensive category of all this. And what else is also included in this list is anything that I bought that I didn't use as well. Things that I bought to use for the trail, but after training with it, trying it out, I said, no, I don't like this. I'm not going to get rid of it. So I considered that a trail expense because I did buy it for the trail and I replaced it with something. Things like my first bear bag I got rid of because I did not like the shape of it. It didn't fit well into into my pack, and it just did not work out well. So that's one example. Another example too is a few pairs of shoes that I bought that I didn't like, so I got rid of them and went to something else. So those things are also included in this list because it is an expense that I did pay for prep to the trail. And so all these things and all these expenses add up to what I spent before I continue and do day one. Day one, we'll start a whole another list. So the grand total came to $4,190.53. $4,190.53 is a number that I did not expect to pay for this trail, and did not expect to pay just to equip myself. There were some things I knew were going to be expensive, like my pack and my tent, my sleeping stuff. But you would expect to pay a good bit amount of money for something quality. But yeah, that was a pretty staggering number, as you see that list add up on the side of the screen there. Excuse me. As you see that list add up, it was pretty shocking. I didn't think it would be that high, but I figured it would be somewhere around the $3,000 mark. But anyway, that's how much I paid to prep for the trail, to get ready and equip myself for the Appalachian Trail. So again, I did this video as a thank you to all those that are subscribing to my channel. And if you do want to follow along, if you're just finding this video and you want to follow along, Sarge Outdoors on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and even TikTok. If you care to follow along at any one of those platforms, you can. So thank you all once again. Take care.